Oh, hey folks, how you doing there? Come to you today of all things. Coming to you, Thursday, September 1. New month. So anyway, Mrs. Dude and I happen to be cruising around doing our various things. And, she went to one side of the Wally World. I went to the other side of the Wally World. And, I happened to be in the camping department and it jumped out to me and I happened to grab one of these. Well, I grabbed another one of these. Why? Because the one I went to only had the one, or it only had a few. Now, I actually went to another Wally World yesterday, and this is the funniest damn part. This Wally World, and I've talked about it also, in other videos, but it's in a location known as Golden Ring. There is a Home Depot, there is a Walmart, and there's a Sam's Club there. This mall is slamming, okay? All the time. The Sam's Club and the Walmart, they're both just constantly raking in the cash. I mean, they are busier than all get out. So you go in there, you would think you would find these Ozark Ridge YETI clones. No, they had one on the shelf missing the lid. So anyway, I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to go down to another area and see if they have them. Now, there's an older, I do mean like archaic style of Walmart. I mean, this thing is dinky, okay? When they come time to actually rehab it, they're going to leave this one behind because actually the problem is the shopping center is actually built in a high water table area and the building is sinking. Yes. So they're not going to rehab that thing. They're simply just going to clean out house and move to somewhere else. So going into this location, and it's a location known as Carroll Island. It's like if you go way down on this one road where you're almost like driving off the peninsula. You're going to head past the population areas, and you're going to go kind of like, almost like a very rural area. I mean, it's actually really kind of cool. It's down in the area that actually has our drive-in. There is some other stuff down there that's kind of notable, but it's kind of like you're going down there. You're really only going down there for one reason. It's because you're going down there. It's not like you just said, oh, I took a wrong turn, and I'll just simply keep driving this way. Because if you keep driving that way, it's a dead end, okay? There really is no way out once you start heading down that area. So I go into this dinky, and I do mean old style Walmart. What do they have? They have an entire skid of these Ozark Ridge 30 ounces. Now, Mrs. Dude has been using hers religiously since we got it, and they're a little heavy, they're a little big, but they fit perfectly in the cup holder of your car. Classically, it's been tested out and proven out by, one of my brothers from another mother, real Cobraburnout. He did a side-by-side testing, and I'm not going to try to replicate it because I don't need to. There's plenty of people that posted videos on YouTube, and they said this thing will hold ice for a full 24 hours. It will, okay? It will. For $10, these things do almost exactly, if not exactly, the same thing as a Yeti for 1/4 the price. Ozark Ridge 30 ounces in Walmart are $9.47 in my area, $9.47. The 20 ounces are like $7. I would go with the bigger one simply because you have more capacity and because it does everything it needs to do. Now, Mrs. Dude has had ice in hers, and she is like the only time the ice really melts is when you add more water after you've sucked out all the water that was in there. Now, the basic construction on this thing looks like it is a polymer, a good polymer. I'm thinking this is like roughly about the same kind of polymer as what you have in a car headlight. You have a big sippy hole and you have a little vent hole. I didn't know it had the vent hole, but that's been verified by all the ones I looked at, and yes, that is correct. It does have a vent hole. And the coolest part is all the Yeti caps fit these Ozark Ridges. So apparently the Chinese are playing it fast and loose, and they're cranking these things out and putting the Ozark Ridge stamp on there as opposed to the Yeti stamp or Sasquatch stamp. Let's just not impose on their trademark. They're not putting the Sasquatch stamp on there. So these are not Sasquatch. These here are Ozark Ridge. I'm going to call them SETIs. They're SETIs. Okay, they're SETIs. They're not Ozark Ridge. They're SETIs. And they're not Sasquatch or the other Y word that we shan't say any longer. These are SETIs. Not trying to call extraterrestrials or anybody like that, but they're SETIs. All right, so for basically $10, price of entry, these things work exactly the same as the Sasquatch. And by and large, it is a awesome product for the price of entry. druthers. Like Rich had pointed out when we spoke on these things on the podcast, you cannot put these things over fire in a survival situation, use them as like a cook item. Do not do that, because actually what this thing is, it is a two-wall construction. There's an inner wall, there's an outer wall, and it's actually what it is. It's wrapped over itself on the dies, and there's a base plate that's been welded onto it, probably by some kind of, hardcore sintering process, like contact welding, spot welding, call it what you will. But in between those two walls is a vacuum. And these things are amazing. You could put this thing full of ice in your car on a blisteringly hot summer day. You come out and the ice will be barely melted. It is that effing good. Now the kicker is people tend to go, well, won't the cold escape? Cold doesn't go up. Cold goes down. So if anything else, the cold is going to gather itself in the part that it needs to contain itself in to maintain itself in a state of some temperature change. But by and large, the amount of temperature change you're going to have trying to interact between vacuum and normal atmosphere is negligible. As a matter of fact, when this thing is full up on ice, the outside is cool, and it's only because of transfer of heat from, stainless steel to your hand, but it really is not like cold. But you stick a straw in here and you start slurping on the water, man, it is like sucking on a liquid ice cube. It is effing cold. So yes, folks, I'm going to tell you guys yet again, and like, I've related to you before, Real Cobraburnout did the testing. The video's up. I'll put the link in the video description here so you guys can check it out. These things work as advertised, and they are 1/4 to 1/3 the price. And I think SETI, Sasquatch, YETI, is going to have some problems now because people are going to go, I'll just go to Walmart, get these things rather than having to go mail order or go to someplace else and get jammed for the price. Because, well, yes, their coolers are amazing. Yes, their technology is amazing. But if you have cheaper alternatives that does exactly the same thing, why are you going to buy a Rolls Royce to drive down the road, but you can drive a $15,000 Honda as opposed to a $200,000 English hand-built car? They both get you there. All right, folks, I'm going to break all of this one. Eat good, keep it sunring as always. You know it, you love it. Watch out for the Sasquatch. They're in your local Walmarts. Failing that, just simply go online and order them. You can have them shipped to the store, pick them up in the store, all the good stuff like that there. And I'm going to break up on this one, folks. Eat good, keep it sunring as always. You know it, you love it. Oh, these also work on hot liquids, too. Caution, liquids may be hot when you're trying to consume them. Duh. That's one of the warnings on here. I guess they think people are stupid. Ugh. All right, folks, I'm going to see you guys later. Eat good, keep it sunring as always. You know it, you love it. Good stuff like that there. Sasquatch. See you guys.